Weird to have like the middle of a video waiting. I'm gonna click on it. Oh, it's Necro. I mean, I could already tell. Alright, volume lowered for me specifically. Game volume looks quiet but audible. Maybe I could turn it up for just the broadcast. Just a little touch. There we go. Cool matchup. I imagine that the further up you get in the skill level of this game, this probably goes to Akuma's favor. He's trying to parry him. Oh, that was nice. All those fireballs were unsafe to that. Ooh, his DP went out the wrong way. The dizzy bar is a big deal in this matchup. A single Necro confirmed to super does like 60% of Akuma's dizzy, like minimum. Oh, look at that. Just those two hits. We all eat them. Every time you fight Necro, you eat back fierce. You know, you can't help it. He's good back fierce. Look at all the damage it did and all the stun. Probably that super was safe. Punishing Akuma's super fireball is actually pretty obnoxious. Interesting punish. It feels like it should be more unsafe than it is. But I guess, you know, Akuma being safe is okay. Because he's so volatile. Car throw. Damn, I start my roundhouse. Start my stream and the first thing that happens is a prime sub. You should jump short, I think. That's an annoying thing about Necro, is the 2 hits of drill kick off a no combo. He went for medium Tatsu, medium DP, that's hard to get. Depends on the character, I think it can be easier or harder. Medium drill and neutral. Wonder if we could have juggled close fierce on landing. Or heavy Tatsu or something. Whatever, he's looking for parry fireball into super again. It was the one-hit red fireball. The red fireballs have radically different startups depending on which version you use, so that can be kind of annoying. You can mistime your parry if you think it's the heavy one. Oh, it's over. Yeah. That sequence wasn't over. He almost parried the full super, though. It was survivable if he parried the full super. He still had to get the read right on what Akuma was going to do when he landed. But there's, like, it's not even just a difficulty of parries, you just don't know what Akuma's going to do. So there's no consistent thing you can do there. And even if you know what's coming, the parry is difficult because you don't know how he's going to time it. Oh, what a punish. Easy read. That was a fairly low risk, low parry to go for. If Ken did what, stand roundhouse, that'd be the worst thing that could happen, and Akuma would get hit crouching, which is not ideal, but he wasn't dead to it. Interesting. Wake up, low forward, and then just cancel the Tatsu yellow. Or I was blessed he could duck those Tatsus. That was a weird thing to do after a parry. Wow, he got it! Car DP. Beautiful. EX Fireball? Don't think he wanted that. Maybe he did. Oh, that's so annoying. Fuck Ken. Oh, that one's more fair. Fire Fierce is actually a pretty good normal for a Ken. Ooh, that was nice. Oh, and he got the medium Tatsu, medium DP. Then he died anyway. Using the Demon Flip to punish the Fireball was quite enlightened. And then getting the combo on landing was quite nice. He cut it short. It's possible he could have done more, I don't know. It's usually considered to be her second best super after Super 2. People usually don't pick it, it's quite rare. There are some Elena players who always pick it in every matchup. And then more typically you get people who only pick it versus characters with ship mobility such as Hugo. And then I would say the majority is people who never pick it. So there's like, let's say like 10% of Elenas pick healing always. And then maybe like 40% pick healing in like 2 matchups. And then like 50% never ever pick it ever. It's fine, it's a good super. All of Elena's supers are functional. Her Super 1 is kind of uninteresting because it's generally just a worse version of her Super 2. The damage is lower. But the meter's a bit shorter, and it's better when it hits midair, so it has some advantages over Super 2. But generally speaking, killing your opponent is more useful than healing yourself. And Elena, her Super is quite useful as a... what's the word I'm looking for? Not like a win con, but like something like that, you know? Like, without her super, she doesn't have, like, crazy burst damage for a lot of starters. I made a tweet about exactly this just recently. Bear candy, baby. I'm all nervous about what they're doing for stage 2s. Basics were overpowered. But I wonder if stage 2s will also be overpowered. There feels like a little bit of power creep going on in this upcoming version. Dude, I was thinking Kirlia was the first Pokemon I pictured when I saw Rare Candy. I was like, Kirlia's dead in the water. No one would run this Pokemon if they could help it. First of all, Gallade only needs 2 energies. Second of all, Gardevoir is only used for its ability. Kirlia is fucking toast. You could still run it with Rare Candy. I'm not sure whether you'll run the stage 1s and Rare Candy or just one or the other. Because Pokemon communication is also better if you have fewer total Pokemon. Nice, punish. Everyone's like, oh, if you draw your Rare Candy and your stage 1, you can Pokemon communication to get your stage 2. But I feel like you also could just draw another copy of your stage 1, and if you have no stage 1s in your deck, then your Pokemon communication, if you throw in the basic, is guaranteed to pull the stage 2. The new Rayquaza looks like it's going to power creep Dragonite super hard. 1 Kirlia, 1 Rare Candy. That's an interesting thought. Or maybe 1 Kirlia, 2 Rare Candies. In like 2 months, I will know exactly how to use Rare Candy. But right now, I'm not really sure. Wake up short forward roundhouse. I feel bad for Arcanine. Remember Arcanine EX? And now we got like Giratina and Solgaleo. What's poor little Arcanine supposed to have that either of these mons don't have? Arcanine was kind of a good card in the first 2 versions. I think it was slept on. People used to run it in Charizard decks and then abandoned it in favor of just having Moltres and Charizard, which is still what they run in Charizard decks. The new Raichu was kind of unimpressive to me. It might be better than I think. Raichu EX, Alola. Nice, Dizzy. But it looked like a worse version of Gallade. How'd that not kill? Yang's damage is truly pretty bad. It's a damn good thing too. The colorless is nice. Depends on what kind of energy acceleration there are. Having 140 HP is quite good. It's more than Pikachu or Pachirisu or Zapdos. Electric card's still very low HP. Nice. The reads were on point there. EX Fireball safe on block and parry, so there's no risk of that. SA2 Ryu, by the way. It's kind of fun. One of my favorite supers. course, I like Dungeon as well. SA2 does a lot of work in this matchup, I feel. Maybe you find that one miracle hit, you win on the spot. There you go. That's it. That's that one miracle hit. Yum. And then he won on the spot. Rayquaza looks very good. Solgaleo and Lunala look good, but held back by the fact that they're stage 2s. So we'll see how useful it is to be able to... We'll see how much better stage 2s are. Notably, Lunala only needs a single Psychic Energy and also can pass energies around as its ability. So a lot of people are saying you could use it in Giratina decks to use its ability to take Giratina's energy. And so both Lunala and Giratina can be used in off-color decks. And I consider it very likely that Cosmo-M and Cosmog are going to have colorless attacks because they can evolve into 2 different types. However, I also consider it very likely that Cosmo-M and Cosmog are going to suck ass. Cosmo-M, or Cosmog is like Magikarp tier in-game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just gave it Teleport and like a low HP total. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like Kirlia, where Cosmo-M has just 20 damage, 1 energy attack. That was a super confirm. Throw there because of course Ken was going to try and parry. The thing is, when I saw Lunala and Solgaleo, the thing I immediately thought was Cosmo-M and Cosmog are going to suck ass. And then I realized it's a stage 2. Like, that could have a Magikarp level stage 1 or basic. And I was like, in order for that to be balanced, they're going to have to make the stage 2s busted. I was like, oh no, the stage 2s are going to be crazy. And both Lunala and Solgaleo look really fucking good. Oh, I hate Ken. When you parry him, he just DPs you. Like, Gyarados is already enough of a win con. I feel like Charizard and Gyarados are like the higher limits of what win con should be. You know what I mean? We should never have anything that's more of a win con than those two. Because they both require so much effort to actually get up. And then they generally either reliably win or... I don't know, they're pretty busted once they're actually all set up. I don't want something more busted than them. Solgaleo looks good as hell. It's also not very similar to any other Metal EX Mon. Doesn't need that much energy, and I don't know. You don't need to run it with like Dialga or anything like that. Solgaleo looks like it's going to be a blessing for metal decks. You're probably just going to run like Skarmory and then the Cosmog line. Yeah. I can already see the Solgaleo decks. You might, depending on how bad Cosmog is, you might run it with like Druddigon too. Especially because Solgaleo's ability works to... You don't need to like run Leaf or anything. The deck builds itself. Very simple EX to use. Lunala is much more complex. Oh, the roundhouse came out the wrong way. He thought Ken would get thrown the other direction. Nice. So there's a trainer card now that puts a damaged colorless mon back into your hand. And I've been thinking a lot about that card. It's one of the most interesting cards in the new expansion. The thing is, there's 2 ways you could use that. The first is to have deny the opponent a point if they're about to kill something. So for example, if you have like... The thing is, all the EX colorless mons require an ass ton of resources. It's like Bibarel, Licky Licky, Wigglytuff, Arceus all require at least 3 energies. And now Rayquaza with 4. So if you just use that card to put the card back into your hand, you are denying your opponent 2 points, but also like you're still setting yourself back immensely for the amount of setup you had to do. But maybe it'll be alright, you know, if you just got Menifee setting up 2 mons at once. The other way you could use that card is have a mon that you hide behind while setting up, for example, a Snorlax. And then, you know, instead of having to retreat it or letting it die, you can just play that card to remove it from the field. But the interesting thing is that it only works on a damaged card. So you could try and... the opponent could try and one-shot your Snorlax, like not even attack it. And a lot of decks run something that can do, you know, 150 damage in one go. Not all of them. 170 is a much harder threshold to hit, though, and Snorlax is not an EX card, so red won't work on it. So if you run Snorlax plus Cape or something, it could be alright. But then the opponent could maybe stall you out and just hit 30 turns. Yeah, or the opponent could have Hitmonlee, Cyrus. Snorlax has a retreat cost of 4, that's enormous. If the opponent just refuses to hit you, that actually is quite inconvenient. You gotta spend 4 turns just hitting the Snorlax. I mean, energying the Snorlax. Love that combo. I got my first ever tie recently in Pocket. I died to Rocky Helmet. We both had mons on the bench and we both hit 3 points. What's funny is I actually hit 3 points and he hit 4 points. But it doesn't matter. The bench roll is kind of funny. That's not well known among players, so I'm meaning to make a video about it. If both players hit 3 points at the same time, but only one person has benched mons, that player is the winner. There's 2 win cons in Pokemon Pocket, and if both players meet one of the win cons at the same time, then it checks the other win con, which is all of your mons being defeated. I've never actually tried to have one player hit 3 points at the same time the other player does not hit 3 points, but knocks out the last mon. Kind of an interesting thought. Requires a little bit of complex setup. You guys been playing that Oblivion remaster? Shit's good. I actually love Oblivion. It came out at a very specific spot in my life that I remember very clearly. 2006. There's something about Demon Foot Throw where I just feel stupid when I eat it. That was a very nice car throw. It's an interesting time to pull that out. I mean, it was probably OS car throw. OS parry car throw. Yeah, what the fuck? It's so strange. It's like such an amazing product to have not even been announced. Just suddenly hit the scene. It really feels like they could have made a much bigger deal about it than they did. Fire Fierce. Probably want to close Fierce. Nice. It really feels like they made all the right calls too. Like everything that you would, they left in a lot of the jank. You can still make extremely cursed looking characters. In fact, it's very easy. The Adoring Fan is still terrifying. Uh-oh. Oh, EX Fireball. Nice parry. Winnable. Winnable. Oh, that was a punish. That is more minus the closer Akuma is to you. Because the Fireball takes time to reach you. And Akuma recovers in that time. So if he's point blank, it's quite minus, but if he's far away, it's safe. I say quite minus, but even point blank, a lot of characters kind of struggle to get a meaningful punish on it. Isn't there something in Skyrim that implies the Adoring Fan would, like, kill people? Nice. I've been really enjoying people, my whole Twitter timeline, nice red parry, has been people posting jank moments in Oblivion. Either in the old one or the new one. Ugh. Thanks. Ken has a car throw, but it's quite hard to do. Every now and then I feel like I just saw it. Some people actually do use it. Oh. Nice parry. That was a really tricky cross-up, but Ken still blocked it. Oh, I think he went for a parry and just Ken attacked very late. Outside the parry window. There's still some of the lines have outtakes built into them, and they've apparently kept that. I remember running into one of them, but I didn't know there were like 4. I've never done all the quests in Oblivion. I've never even done the main quest. I've done like a little bit of it. I usually just do like, I start doing like guild quests, and then I just get caught up doing that. Wow, that was a dead OS using Crouch Fierce. It's pretty fancy. He has one on back medium kick. It's not amazing. He has a better one with down medium kick or down heavy kick, but both of those are very awkward if you time them up or wrong, and you have to uncrouch in the Kara frame, which is not easy. SGDK works with any Kara. And so, of course, Ken would use medium punch. Nice. Was that supposed to be a DP? Maybe he wanted EX Fireball. Look at all those hits. Ken can punish this, right? He tried for red parry and missed it. I'm not sure if he could have punished it without red parry. Necro's level 3 or super 3 is a projectile, so like Akuma, it's more unsafe the closer you are. He was not point blank there. Oh, I have not actually played City of the Wolves yet. Is it out or is it just beta? It's out, right? It's actually out. I gotta pick it up. I'll grab it like today. I played Freeman, and I don't even think he's in the game. I played Freeman and Gara. I'll probably try and play Kane. Or maybe Marco Rodriguez. Are the ones that are kind of intriguing to me. Oh, there's like a spiritual Andy, isn't there? I quite like playing Andy. The fucking ninja kid. I don't remember him being like Andy in Gara, was he? I straight up don't remember that. That was a combo because crouching. Look at tomorrow. Yeah. He's been doing like Andy's upkick and his fireball and stuff. I was like, oh. But Andy's going to be in the game, right? Isn't he like a DLC? It's kind of weird seeing someone doing his moves when he's already announced. Yeah, I'll probably just play Kane though. Kane feels like the aura of the game, you know what I mean? Oh, my guy really did all 3. Oh, it fell out. That's so annoying. Necro's jump overheads are all quite reactable. The X one is probably the best one, but that's not saying much. Yang didn't react though. The thing is, I'm either holding down back, waiting for something to DP, or I'm not holding down back and I'm reacting to what my opponent's doing. And in either instance, I either get the EXDP on the overhead or I block it correctly. I probably eat it like 1 time out of 10. The vast majority of the time I either block it or DP it. And that's when I'm not even thinking about it. If you are thinking about it, it's incredibly easy to react to. I don't know the speed on it, but it's not great. The kick overhead is kind of bad too. They both have little things they do that are kind of cool. The kick overhead pulls him back, and the punch overhead jumps, which dodges lows and is airborne frame 1. So neither move is useless. The kick one is definitely the worst one, I think. Well, Neko's other special moves are quite good. Isn't Marco? He has like an infinite. He must be good. I don't remember how much like Ryo or Karate Marco is. I know he's doing Kogen Ryu or whatever. But I don't know how familiar he'll feel to me. I typically play Ryo in most King of Fighters games. I don't know how good my Ryo will make my Marco. Is it Kogen Ryu? Is it Kokugen Ryu? I don't remember. That's gonna hit. Parrying there is actually a little bit scary because you reset your juggle potential. No, I think the super might reset your juggle potential anyway. Maybe it's okay. The combo always seems to be pretty weak afterwards, no matter what. I hate everything I've ever seen about Ronaldo so far. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he animates. The way the ball works is kind of cool. That one gets a pass. That's like the one good thing about him, is the way that his normals interact with the ball is kind of neat. And then I always see people doing that little chest bump spam. Looks easy to do, hard to counter. Looks like a very obnoxious character. Salvatore or whatever, he looks sick. It's amazing watching. My whole timeline is just people 180ing on that guy. It's like, wow, actually I love him. I apologize. I watched Step Grandmother or whatever it's called, his little music video. One of them. It was quite great, can't lie. The music was kind of cool. And then the animation itself was really funny. I love that juggle so much. It's so funny that you can do it. Ken just gets 2 hits. Maybe on some characters you get 3. It's easy to do, you don't need a car or anything. Oh, Akuma's so cheap. In the end, he still ended up eating a combo. Not too bad, though. Better than eating a super. You get a lot of meter for the parries, I'm sure. Ugh. That was supposed to be a DP, maybe? It's hard to tell. Fireball was unsafe. Nice parry. Akuma's Tatsu hits are just a little bit slower than Ken's EX Tatsu hits. And that affects, for mid-air Tatsu for both of them. That affects what buttons you can press between. It's easier to parry one hit of Akuma's air Tatsu and then press a button, compared to Ken EX Tatsu, where you frequently just have to parry repeatedly. Still, Akuma's is probably better just because it's free. Oh, that's a punish. Nice recognition. Kinda stupid. I blocked your fireball, here's my Shifu. Fireballs are pretty minus, 1 point blank. That was a safe super. I give this to Akuma like 80% of the time. Nice, now 100%. I thought that would chip out and it didn't. Still technically winnable for Ken. Oh, that was like the last frame of the universal overhead. Not quite. Oh, Billy's in the game, isn't he? Okay, I'd play Billy. I forgot about Billy. This one's aspect ratio is just a little bit different. Please hold while I adjust it. I noticed that while I was setting it up. The videos get just a bit wider. I don't know what they're doing differently. Bonk. That's good enough. I don't care. I'm a big Billy enjoyer. Didn't they ask Ronaldo in an video what his favorite special move was, and he gave like a bullshit answer? He's like, I love King of Fighters or whatever, and they're like, what's your favorite special move? And he's like, I like all the special moves. The moves that are special are my favorites, or some nonsense. He like said something that implied he'd never played them in his life. It's probably stand C. Anyway, that question got me thinking about what I would say my favorite special move is in King of Fighters. Wow! Yang Super 1. Yang Super 1 jump scare. Yang Super 1 is one of the most interesting supers in the game. Bodega is a good favorite super from King of Fighters. I think Billy's special move where he jumps into the air is probably my favorite special move. It feels like something jank that never should have survived, like, into the modern era of fighting games. You know what I mean? It's like the kind of special move you would have seen from fighting games in, like, the mid-90s. That has no place. Like, it was just the kind of thing that would just be dummied. Oh my god, he got him again. 12 Super 1 does this weird thing where his push box gets super wide right as he does it. You could actually see it there. Let's jump back to it. Yang was point blank, and see how he's suddenly not point blank anymore? And the super actually does more damage the closer the opponent is to you, so it's even more jank. You can only be so close to 12, and then his wide-ass hurt box will just push you out. Wide-ass push box. Anyway, Yang Super 1, it's been a while since we've seen it, so let's talk about it a little bit. It does a lot of damage. It's the strongest of Yang Supers. Only 1 bar. It has the novelty of being like +1 on block. So it's completely riskless to just throw out air quotes. The downside is that it's the startup is quite slow. I don't remember the number, but it's like 8 frames or 9 frames or something like that. And because of that, you can actually fairly easily parry it post-freeze. But it's a very scary parry. Because if you fuck it up, you eat the super. And the super does quite a lot of damage. And if you parry it, you can punish it. But if you don't parry it... Yeah, it's only a single parry. I think in most instances, I would probably just block it. I feel like there's no real need to try and go for the parry. Obviously, Yang has low HP, and it's very nice if you get the parry. If you're reliable with it, you can just go for it. But the risk of eating the super is very scary. It's usually not picked... it probably is better than a Super 2. But Super 2 stocks 2 meters, and Yang likes EX. Yang has very good EX with his Rekka. And because of that, people always pick SA2 anyway. Nice. Anti-Air Super 1 for 12 is actually extremely good. Winnable. Probably, honestly, like, pretty even. Oh. Urian got it. This is honestly not even that good of a matchup. It's probably pretty fair. Probably Urian's favor, like 6-4 or something. 12's neutral is actually pretty good here. 12 might have been able to hit him. That taunt might have been unsafe. Oh. That's sad, watching Crouch Jab be your punish for blocked Crouch Fierce. Crouch Fierce is so rewarding that you really want a decent punish on it. Crouch Jab is not a decent punish. Rare footage of Urian's EX Fireball. Bah! Did he want that? His jump short looks really strange. How did he get that meter? What just happened? Normally you don't build meter when your attacks whiff, I thought. Or I mean not when your attacks whiff, when your attacks are parried. I guess you still get the meter of the whiffing than normal. I'm just weirded out to see that build meter. I didn't think it built any meter if it was parried. I'll repeat the 12. Oh yeah, the double meter just to get the corner. Oh, that was low risk. I understand why he did it. I wonder what would have happened if he actually hit Urian. I'm sure it would have knocked Urian over, right? He would have still bonked off the mirror, but I think he would have just knocked Urian over and done some damage. Hello. That's the thing in this matchup, is you can do your invincible reversals and bonk into the mirror, and they're hard for Urian to get conversions out of. Urian is one of the least BS characters in this whole game. Aegis, while being the strongest super in the game, is also like fairly balanced. That was a blue parry. Yeah, nice EX mirror. It's funny that Yang didn't even have visible health, and Yang's HP sucks ass, and the EX mirror still didn't kill him in one hit. My favorite matchup. This one I think is usually seen as 5-5. We're close to it. Necro has a lot of things that are very strong in this matchup. His neutral actually works very well versus Urian, and then you've got like the down back fierce stuff. You've got decent counterplay to the mirror between your frame 1 airborne and your... I have not played City of the Wolves yet. I haven't even really seen that much footage of it. We got a whole month before Elena comes out. I'll play at least a little bit. Nice punish. Crouch jab super. Very rarely used link by Necro players, but occasionally used for very specific punishes. Quite fancy to see that. Oh, that's a punish. Oh, I thought it was. I'm really surprised that recovered in time. That's a pretty fast super. You can just do these. Oh. So he did an optimal combo on purpose, trying to style. You can just do one of those and then start juggling the tackles instead, and tackles do a lot more damage. The fact that you can do repeated up fireballs is more novel than anything. And you can do up to 6 of them if you got the right, if you're close enough to the corner. At launch, Online Edition did not have a way of preventing players from picking Gil in Battle Lounge. You couldn't pick Gil in ranked, but if you made a room, people could just come in and pick Gil. And they had to add in the ability to ban characters from a lounge. And I think Gil was banned by default. But you could ban up to 3 characters, so you could like ban Chun-Li if you wanted to. Nice. Be a Hugo player, make lobbies banning Chun-Li, Dudley, and Akuma. This is not Fightcade, this is a Japanese arcade. Oh, a little strong. What was that supposed to be? Headbutt? Medium headbutt? Medium fireball? What fireball do Urians do in their little combo? Tackle, fireball, tackle, tackle? I don't know. Nice. Ooh, that was a nice fireball. He went for 2. That can work. Nice. This is a ton of dizzy. Throw is a huge threat right now. Back fierce was also a huge threat. Yep, throw ended up working. I think he had the spin bar there. Hi. Hi, hi. Necro's meter is not so long. You can kind of afford to spend supers. You get him back pretty fast. It's pretty cheap super as they go. Oh, that was a confirm. He didn't see it. Or maybe he just dropped it. Executionally, the TC is quite difficult. Oh, that was a punish. TC to super is droppable. You have to be very fast. Elena looks fun. I made some tweets about healing. I like the Elena classic outfit looks absolutely stunning. And I'm not talking about the ass jiggle, although it's funny that that's there. Like just her face and her hair and stuff looks amazing. The default is also good. I like the pants too, actually. One of my friends was like, I hate that they put pants on her, and I was like, bro, the pants are cool. The hair is different. I wish they just had the classic hair on both, but I understand why they want something fresh. And you can always play the classic outfit. I couldn't figure out what a lot of her special moves were while I was watching the trailer. Like, there were some returning ones, like Scratch Wheel. There were some that I think weren't in there. Like, I think they didn't do Link's Tail, right? I saw a Spin Scythe. Oh, nice. And a good punish. It's hard to tell what all our attacks are. I love the animation of her throw. They're still going with her throwing you with her feet, but in a way that makes more sense. Surprised I didn't punish that dive kick. Punish? Looked like one. I'm surprised they kept her capoeira when standing neutral. We were discussing whether she'd keep that. Backdash got caught. Wake Up Backdash is like a new thing people have been doing in this game. It's funny to see like gameplay developments in the game that's 20 years old. 26 years old. People didn't used to backdash on Wake Up very much, and it's actually very decent for several characters. 12 for Makoto, Necro, immediately come to mind, Oro. There's no invincibility, it just moves on like frame 1. Funny looking combo. I'm gonna confess something to you guys. I like Yun in this game. I don't like fighting Yun that much. He's okay to fight. I'd rather fight Yun than some other characters. But I quite like watching Yun. Season 3 SF3. I want at least one new character that's not like, you know, a guest. Maybe 2 new characters that are not guests. Nice, EXTP. Returning characters that would be really sick. Let me think about that. There's like a lot of characters where they said that character, I would be happy, but I would never ask for them. Like Falk. Falk coming back would be neat, but I wouldn't ask for her. Menat would be kind of cool. Rose would be cool. I would never say no to Oro. I would like Adon. Alex has a shot. Non-zero chance of Alex. Makoto would be very simple. I think almost everyone would respond positively to Makoto. I'm really surprised they haven't brought her back yet. That being said, I find the idea of Makoto in a Drive Rush game to be absolutely terrifying. Like, whatever you think about DJ's Drive Rush, Makoto is going to be that times 10. But if there are nerfs to Drive Rush in this upcoming patch, then maybe it's okay if Makoto has a busted drive rush. I think they should make drive rush punish counter on hit. I think that would be a very fine solution for me. If you hit someone out of drive rush, or the side up of an attack they do during drive rush, it's a punish counter. Drive rush, I don't know. I think I'm okay with that. I understand why people dislike it. The combos you get from drive rush jabs are very weak. And it still costs the same amount of resources it always does. And I kind of like seeing those combos where it's just like, you know, 2 lights, drive rush, and then a light, and then a medium, drive rush, and then heavy, heavy or something. And burning out just to do that is kind of interesting. I think drive rush is fine. I think that they could nerf it and the game would probably be just a touch better. But I don't think it needs a nerf. Dan would actually be one of the characters I'd be most excited to see come back. I love Ibuki. Interesting use of the super. I wonder if she can bounce twice on that or not. Oh, that's a punish. I think that he thought that he was blocking a DP. Or parrying a DP. He like parried one hit and then blocked. The first hit of Close Roundhouse and the first hit of Ibuki's DP look the damn same. I don't think they've ever missed on Dan. I think Dan has been a funny character in every game he's been in. It's easy to forget about SF4 Dan, but the first time they showed off how good Godoken, people were in hysterics. It's a really funny animation. Beautiful. Viper would be a welcome addition, I think. Dan's run would look funny as fucking with drive rush. Far short. Did he think he was landing on the other side? I feel like he might have. Short is not a button you ever hit on purpose. I think he wanted back short and thought he was going to be on the other side. Wow, Yuri parry would really fuck up Yuri and Mirror. That's a funny thought. Be harmless. A Super 2 would be too expensive for Yuri and Mirror, I feel. I'm going to say something crazy. He should probably have his reversal on a Super 2, and then have the Mirror as a Super 1. And then no invincibility on the X headbutt or anything. Just his only reversals Super 2, like Zangief. It's a funny thought. I've been waiting for a character with a really good Super 1. I thought it was Mai, but people are not actually using Super 1 that much with Mai. Now that everything's kind of settled down. Oof. It traded and he still didn't take damage. When you get 2 perfects, but the opponent gets a win between. I think that's happened to most players if they played for long enough. Geef level 1 is quite dope. I like DJ level 1, which is not a reversal. It's quite an interesting attack, but rarely do you see it actually see use. I kind of feel like it slept on. You do see it in juggles. DJs do be hitting that stuff in juggles. Urian but no mirrors? It's like, why even have Urian? That's his signature. That's his ace. It's one of the cool supers in the whole franchise. I can't see him without it. Imagine if the Mai is charging her fan in front of you, and you just do a super one with Urian, and you just put a mirror up, and then she bonks herself with her fan. If we lived in a just, kind world, this would be a real future. But we don't, so it's not. Yan has been in 2 separate games without Yang, so it's possible. 3 separate games without Yang. Yan has been in CBS 2 home console releases, Alpha 3 home console releases, and Capcom Battle Revolution, or whatever it's called. Capcom Fighting Evolution. Yan is in all 3 of those games, and Yang is not. It's high time Yang made it in without Yan, honestly. Oh, very nice placement of normals that whole round. Balrog is a fan favorite and a pretty cool character. I would not be mad at all if they brought back Balrog. Dudley's jump is very good, and parry is necessary versus Necro because he has good anti-airs that also lose to parry. Dash and EXDP. Dudley has a hop, that's funny. But yes. Real ones remember Hakon's hop. Rose had custom combos without, or with a super in Alpha 3. So Yang could have them too. The funny TC, live short, stand forward. Just kidding, all of them are the funny TC. Who doesn't parry there? I parry that like 99% of the time. You get hit midair. Necro would be a great announcement. I think 2 of the best characters that I could foresee for Season 3 would be Makoto Necro. It's time for both of them. If I'm being 100% honest, I wouldn't say no to someone like Sean. I think that Sean should be reinvented a little bit, similar to the Evil Ryuta Kage. I think they could keep some things about Sean, but they should just do new things as well. They could chuck her command grab on him, fuck it. Laura had one. Shadow with a command grab is something people don't know they want. I don't want in the game. Who are some fighting game characters where I'm like, wow, I hate this? I don't mind Ingrid at all. I don't know. One of my good friends played Forte, and so I got quite a lot of experience fighting him. I can understand why people would not like him. He feels very random, but he just feels very random in the sense that a grappler feels very random. So the fact that he doesn't have a traditional command grab kind of is of not significant consequence. I would like Q, actually. I'm a big fan of Q. Every character is Forte in SF6. You're forgetting how crazy Forte was. Remember his run follow-ups just having invincibility for no fucking reason? Run away, heavy punch, like, had invincibility on it, and also was a real command grab that you couldn't duck, that also, if you jumped out of it, Forte recovered before you did. How were we just okay with that? That was Tortilla Propeller. That was not usually the thing people complain about when they complain about Forte. People usually complain about Tostada Press. So for anyone who didn't play SF4, El Fuerte had a move where he jumped and could land on either side of you. And it was an overhead, and it would hit either on the right side or left side, and they were completely unreactable. And if he jumped over your head, most characters' DPs would just whiff. So you couldn't, like, DP it. Not reliably, anyway. You had certain things that could beat it, like Hakan on Ultra 2, but most characters just, like, had to hold the mix up. And then it was often very hard to punish. And then, not only all that, you could focus it, it was focusable, but you couldn't focus release because if he landed on the other side of you, he would roll away from your focus. Like, you'd be facing the wrong way. So you had to focus and then dash towards him and then punish it like that. And then, he also had a completely identical move. It didn't have a soundbite. He said Tostada Press when he did the Tostada Press, but he had another move that didn't have a soundbite. But it happened, the soundbite happened as it was hitting you, so you couldn't use the soundbite to react between them. But he had a completely identical move that was a command grab that only worked on standing opponents. He did the super just to keep it safe, but Dudley actually got hit by the TC. Or the DP, rather. Anyway, of course the Tostada Press is already a true mix-up with itself, because of the left-right mix-up. So, like, you don't even need this command grab. I mean, you kind of do, because of focus and then dash towards Fuerte. But then this command grab also, of course, because of Tostada Press, you're going to be blocking high. Nice parry. Oh, how sad. Why did he not spend any meter? He had some. I don't know if he could have killed, but EX, I 100% would have done EX Umuji. Anecdotally, I had 3 Mexican roommates in college, and all 3 of them fucking loved Fuerte. T-Hawk, as a Mexican representative, was quite divisive, or even just poorly received. But Fuerte was, I think, quite popular. Pocket set looks fun, yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Oh, but anyway, this command grab was identical to the overhead, and also, like, caught people who were focusing or who were blocking high in either direction. So it's just a true mix-up with the Tostada Press. If you jumped out of it or ducked it, you could punish it the same way you could punish other command grabs. That was just, like, El Fuerte only needed to do those to mix up his opponent. But in addition to those, he also could do other, like, meaty options. Like, he had a -1 sweep, so he could just sweep you on wake up. What's funny is he actually could sweep out of his run, but people rarely did it. Instead, what they would do is they would do the run, stop, and then do his regular sweep because it would be safe. And only barely slower. However, you would do the run sweep and run stop fierce combos. The trial is not too bad. You just got to do 3 hits of fierce. It's not too precise. In order to actually get it to be a near infinite, you have to be able to do, like, nearly frame perfect run stop fierces. But if you're not super clean with it, you still You lose a little bit of distance, so you know you wouldn't be able to do it more than 3 hits, but 3 hits itself is not too bad, I think. Try it now that your execution's better. You'd be like, this isn't so bad. I think a lot of people are just intimidated because of the inputs per second is quite high. I think it's easier than like Viper though. I don't even think Viper's the hardest character in the game. People used to talk a lot about Viper, Gen, and El Forte Trials in like vanilla. Even if you're within like 3 frame timing, you can do the run stop fierce 3 hits. You don't have to be super precise. I don't know the frame timer on Vipers. That one's quite annoying. Fierce, I feel like it might be 1 frame. Stained Fierce, Heavy Thunder Knuckle Feint, Crutch Fierce. That's either a 1 or a 2 frame link, and it's crazy inputs per second. And then you have to cancel the Crutch Fierce, which is annoying too. I was watching some SF3 footage recently. I forgot how fun that game is. I could probably do SF4 the same way I do this game at this point, and it would be like as novel to people. Ugh, I hate when that first hit falls out. Yes, I did see it. It was charming. Tokido, it was funny seeing the way that their gameplay styles have evolved. Tokido almost certainly did not remember his like setups. Bonchan still looked okay, but Tokido was playing radically differently than how he played back in the day. He was just doing like meaty throw stuff or like meaty frame trap stuff. It's like, this is not you, Tokido. You're supposed to be whiffing palms inside their fucking corpse the frame they wake up. Palm being Demon Foot Punch. Nice red. That's a very valuable red to be able to do. That one is also very useful. Nice gameplay by this Dudley. He parried repeatedly. That's a mix-up. When you jump in at Necro doing electricity, you don't know if he's gonna just do the 1 hit and then, or the mesh. The 1 hit he can juggle out of, but if the opponent parries it, they can just hit him. Whereas the mesh is, you know, nice. The opponent has to parry repeatedly. Risk reward. We were talking about Elena earlier, you missed it. I will main her. Nice round. I haven't played with it yet, but I will. That works. He was just too far out, I guess. I wonder if ducking straight would have been good for the second one. Ducking super would have worked as well. Red? Oh, he went for it. He went for the red and he just dropped it. It's not too risky. You get a much bigger punish if you red parry the last hit. Necro can probably do heavy spinning hook if you red parries last hit. Don't quote me on that. Alright, still winnable. Very difficult. Oh, so much for that. I played a little bit of Garo. I've only played Garo against a human a couple times. But I played through, like, you know, the arcade mode. I remember liking Freeman, but I honestly don't remember that much about him. I think he had some Claw Yori style swiping. I think he had Rekkas, right? Pretty sure he had Rekkas. And then a kind of mature-ish move where he like jumps at you or something. I don't remember. It's been too long. I would just play Billy in City of the Wolves though. Spin my stick. Whoa, what a funny mash. You're playing Salvatore. Think. Is he actually bad? I love in week 1 when people just pick characters based on vibes and they don't know, like, you know, how good the character's gonna end up being. Too much stank. I haven't really been following it as it developed, so I don't even really know what the mechanics are. Like, I look at the meters, I don't know what's going on. Just that jump light kick. Very curse normal. Very rarely do you see that one on Yang. Do you still have like feint stuff like you had in Garo? That's cool. I think that was one of Garo's kind of like gameplay signatures that was interesting. Nice pickup. Nice jumping combo. Necker walked in too much for that overhead, I feel. Getting the dizzy and then landing first Rekka. Obviously the best play from there was to do 2 more Rekkas. But I think he was just caught off guard that he got the dizzy and tried to save it. So you can't air block, but you can air just defend, right? That's kind of whack to me. Same as it worked in Mark of the Wolves, I think. And also, isn't K-Groove like that? I never actually really played CBS. I mean, I have played it, but not seriously. Air DI to beat anti-air sounds like the most cursed thing I've ever read. But if there's air parry as well, then I don't think it's too big of a deal. Does he? EX Record probably would have stunned him. Maybe he didn't have it. Okay, this is anyone's game. Oh, good shit. I saw a Twitter clip just recently of a Kevin player getting absolutely insane damage off of like a DP punish. And I didn't know if the game's damage is high or Kevin's damage is high or both. He went for gold. Good round. Kevin was really strong in Mark of the Wolves, so I'm not too surprised. Oh no, this is looking pretty ugly for the Necro player. Oh no. Oh no. Super. Or that. Why'd he do that? I would have done DP super or something. Not light machine gun blow. The double perfect. Overhead on the dizzy. That's funny. He had the TC, so the combo wasn't over. So obviously enough to kill. It's just a weird thing to do. I wonder if Necro's good against... I mean, Dillu's good against Necro. Hi. Oh, anyone's game. Anyone's game. What a comeback. Holy shit. It's probably not gonna... Oh. I'm sorry. I was about to say it's probably not gonna get the first hit, and then it did. I don't know if it would have killed without the first hit. I think it would have. Looks good. Yep. The Chun-Li confirm. This probably just kills, right? It's close. Yep, was enough. I wonder if he did upper, it would have killed without the super. He did straight and it, like, left Necro with no visible HP. Beautiful. I don't know anything about soccer. I only know that Messi and Ronaldo are considered to be the two best players in the world. Where's Ronaldo from? Isn't it like Portugal or something? Nice. No, our video. Surprised I didn't dizzy him. Dudley's got one of the long dizzy bars. It's very rare he gets stunned. Oh, that was gonna chip out, so it wasn't that risky. Sad though because Yang was like one frame from his crouch jab being out. It's still as good as hell. Oh, he missed the punish. Lift forward would have worked, I would have thought. I don't know why he tried to sweep. Lift forward's faster and also leads to more damage. Nice confirm. Oof. Upper traded with Electric Snake. Ooh, stun on the horizon. Got it. Very nice round. Ugh, Dudley's just landing punches. Failed to punish the cross counter. I don't know how fast Necro's crouch jab is, but it can't be fast. Necro hit him like 6 or 7 times that round, and look how little HP he lost. They were all just weak hits. Necro has quite high damage disparity between his really beefy stuff and his really weak stuff. Still better than 12. Oh, missed his confirm. Was a punish. Lost the first hit. Oh, crouch fierce. I mean, crouch strong. Just got owned by the jump in. That's really sad. I mentioned Freeman earlier. Freeman's not in, right? No one replied. I can't think of any other character in Garo who may not be present. Is Grant in? I feel like I haven't seen Grant yet. Nice confirm. And we got T-Hawk as T-Hawk and not Dinosaur, right? I think he's in the game, right? But I haven't seen him yet. Nice red. Very valuable red. Went for the red parry on the last hit, sad. No, he's dead. Meterless. That's far strong. Well, just strong. Dudley has no close and far normals. Nice. Building meter was better than taunting. There's a whole nother round. Oof. Necro's forward jump is not amazing. Electricity trades well with most things. Dudley's towards medium kick is such an obnoxious normal. It's very terrifying when you got a Dudley kind of poking you with it. He got it, and he does get heavy spin hook. Oh, what an amazing pickup! That's hard to do. The light spin hook into down back fierce into jab. It's pretty tight to pick up. That was really good. That was a crazy comeback. That was really nice. He hit all the good shit. Oh, yep. Necro's drill into like stuff he does when he lands. He's plus, but he's not. It typically isn't a combo. And the game is kind of picky about letting you buffer parries while you're taking damage. I don't know if you actually can or not. It feels like at the very least it's a lot tighter. Like if you're in hit stun and you try and parry, even if something hits you in the next few frames, I feel like you often don't parry it. I don't know if it's like a smaller window or what. Here it just straight up doesn't allow you to do it, and anytime I've had it work, it's because I pressed after the hit stun ended. Nice punish. Tatsu is so low risk. Oh, that did a grip to Akuma's HP. So relatively unscaled. It's funny watching Akuma's life melt. It's weird to think that he's got less HP than twins, who already melt. Ooh. And he jumped? He actually jumped. I wonder if it was a bad setup or he'd already jumped pre-freeze. That's a crazy jump to pull off. Unless the setup was bad, which is possible. Oh, no confirm. That back strong confirming super would have won on the spot. He fucked it up though. Oh, okay. He still managed to win. That was really scary. Akuma could have killed him there. Even like down fierce or something probably would have won. I don't know what he did. I think this is considered to be Necro's worst matchup. Sick. Love seeing the full enders. Parry the back roundhouse and then get stand short. Still winnable for Necro. Very difficult. No, I think he might die. This doesn't do a ton of damage. It was enough. Nice block. In order for Yun to be able to combo out of it, he has to get a deep one, which also gives you more time to react. Oh, Necro really looks helpless in the corner in this matchup. What the fuck was that? I think that was a corpse walk. Corpse dashing is fairly easy, but corpse walking is very specific. Brutal. What a start. Who does forward parry at round start versus Yun? Like, what are you anticipating? It's really strange to see Yun open the round with Sam Ranos in the first place. Oh, the reset. Almost always you see the command grab reset there. Yun actually just reset into hits. Nice punish. Oh, he's dead. That's one of my favorite combos in the game, is the EX up kick into regular up kick. It's very stylish looking. I really like Yun's combo where he gets the one hit up kick into the two hit up kick on Q. That one's so fancy. Uh-oh. Nice. Oh. Is he? I think so, yeah. No, don't even drop him. Don't let the man breathe. It was better to let Yun drop there and whiff some back strongs, but that's neither here nor there. He'll have probably 2 bars before he manages to land a super anyway. Oh, what a good confirm. Parry one on the spot. Oh, these shoulders are really risky. Non-light shoulder and neutral is very vulnerable to parry. You can parry it on reaction. Anyone's game, I'd usually give it to Yun. I say it as Yun wins. Ooh, a fun one. The big man. Another round start roundhouse. I wonder if roundhouse is a good button in this matchup. It's a funny thought. Typically, you don't really see Yuns use that normal too much. Yun's HP is kind of bad, and typically you see people only attack in ways that are very high risk, low reward. I mean, the inverse. Low risk, high reward. You see it with Yang too, and Akuma. Oh, he's dead. It was a bit much of me. I really thought that would kill though, I'm dead serious. I think it wasn't the heavy commit grab, I think it was like Volley 1. Oh! EX Lariat was possible there, he didn't do it though. It was probably worth doing, but it's hard to say. There's definitely some value to just keeping that Super 1 in the back. That was Mitogene. Pretty fancy. Red Parry into Super 1 is very scary. Ooh. Super 1 is not a kill, but it's gonna... I would probably try and save it though for next round. Now Super 1 kills, I think. It's very, very losable for the Yon still. Oh, he got him. Yeah, this is over. Good shit. That was beautiful. I think there's a couple active frames on that super, so even if the opponent's airborne, you often still snatch him. Hugo's actually pretty strange to juggle. I don't know if Gene is easier or harder on him. Typically, Hugo's body makes him harder to juggle, but it depends on the character. Yum. It's pretty much a nightmare situation for Hugo. Being bullied in the corner. Very low risk attacks. Oh, he got him. He got out. Alright, this is a 50-50 for a game. Oh. He guessed wrong. Jump drill was a very safe thing to do there. It always depends on the character. But I think that's generally true. Dudley is very easy for Aura to juggle. Q is very easy to juggle for almost everyone, I think. Q is exceptionally wide when he's falling. Ugh. This is dire. Whoa, the DP. He's like, I got parried. Nice. Meaty throw. Very dangerous option when the opponent's at chip health. Nice punish. Ken's so nasty. Of course, Necro's gonna come down, trying to parry. Oh yeah, that was greedy. I understand it though. He needs something extreme to try and win. He went for the red parry on second hit of Shippu. I forget what Necro gets there. I didn't know. I thought it would just be heavy spin hook, but I think he actually can do some jump nonsense. Necro's jump is very slow. This is one of the only matchups where Ken's ground Tatsu can be useful. We're seeing it in a very unpleasant way. This probably just is the only matchup where it's useful. But even still, you typically don't see people use it. It's a higher risk than reward. It doesn't do a ton of damage, and then if it's parried, you get owned. Well, typically. Hugo didn't know how many hits or something. He's probably very rarely ever had to fight someone who does this. There's a lot of ways, even at like all levels of play, there's a lot of ways to gimmick your opponent out in this game. There's a lot of gimmicks that, you know, it's the only way to deal with them is a lot of exposure to them. There you go. Very low risk to attempt that parry. As you could see, he probably didn't even need to parry the whole thing. He could have just parried the last hit. That's going to be a brutal loss, though. If I'm that Hugo player, I'm thinking about that for the rest of the day. My big impression with Street Fighter V was that one of the main things they tried to do within that game is remove any way for characters to gimmick each other out. Ooh. They added some sauce back in with 6. I think 5 was a very pure game, though. I'm not saying that in a good or a bad way. Almost every character is just using the throw frame trap mix-up as their core mix-up. He probably could have linked out of that second to last overhead into super. The one that hit. But I don't blame him for missing it. That's hard to do on a good day. Nice whip finish. Ugh, look how much damage he just ate. Oh. That was light DP, medium DP. I think that does work on corner necro. Don't quote me. He did it like it worked. If that was indeed the medium one for a second. I love the animation of Ken's heavy DP. The way the fire curls around his fist is just super cool. Oh, he's trying to go for crutch free super. On for it. That was probably an accident. He did OS parry throw, and the parry was done so early that the throw didn't hit. It's too far away. Forward dash on wake up. No confirm into the super. Oh, nice fierce. Oh, what a whiff punish. Say medium kick can whiff punish both sweep and Stairman House? Must be nice being a necro player, haha. Not really, though. I'm thinking he might try and super cancel near the end here. Well, that wasn't too bad. He didn't die for it. I would have tried to parry electricity. It ended up being heavy spin hook. Universal overhead, but it was too high to hit anything. Nice. This Ken is just insanely good. Coach jab, well placed. Necro's playing this round really well. The situations he's been putting himself in, even if things don't go his way, he's not really traditionally punishable. Ugh, till that moment. Okay, got out of the corner, the old-fashioned way. Ken can chase that in a lot of different ways. He can just dash after it, he can air Tatsu after it. He can even DP it. Oh, that was beautiful. Low parry into DP from all that distance away. Fellas, is Ken privileged? Don't answer that. Laser jump, medium kick. Red? Nope. He got a punish anyway. Look forward. Nice and simple. Looked like he tried to do low forward, medium DP super or something. Low forward super was the way though. Okay. Hospitalized pretty good. I'm working tonight. I have a differential, pay differential, if I'm working on the weekend, and a pay differential when I'm working overnights, and they stack. So when I work Friday night or Saturday night, I'm making about $60 an hour. The work is also fairly easy. Oh, oof. It's funny. A lot of the stuff that I hate doing at my job, like I was with one of my coworkers. The other day, and he just got out of surgery. He was putting a pacemaker in, and by putting a pacemaker in, I mean getting a C-arm when surgeons put a pacemaker in. And that's, I guess, one of the simpler C-arm surgeries. Getting the C-arm in place is difficult. Getting it in the right spot. The ergonomics are really bad. But then once you're in the right place, you kind of don't really have to move with the C-arm, because you just kind of get it where the heart is. And like a little blow, and that's it. And then you're just there for the rest of the surgery. But navigating it to that spot is a pain in the ass because of our surgery suites. Basically, we have a whole lot of room on one side of the patient and not that much on the other side. And with a heart, with a pacemaker insertion, nice chase. With a pacemaker insertion, the doctors are working on the left side, which is normally where you can put the C-arm. So you've got to come in from the right, and there's all this stuff in the way. So you got to come in at a weird angle, and then transpose. So it's a nuisance. Anyway, I've done a few pacemaker insertions. They're pretty easy. Most surgeries not too bad, but I hate it anyway. I hate not knowing what I'm doing, and there's so many surgeries you have to know how to do, and you're not taught how to do various surgeries when you're a student. Like, at no point during my schooling was I taught how to do C-arm stuff. It's purely the hospital's responsibility to put it on you. Anyway, my coworker just got out of a pacemaker surgery, and he was working in the ER with me, and he casually mentioned how he'd rather be doing surgery 100 times out of 100 than anything in ER. And it really caught me off guard, because I'd rather be doing ER stuff 100 times out of 100 than anything in surgery. I was like, wow, I'm glad you exist so that people like me can just do ER. My coworker, I mean my fellow student who did the same rotation as me, he is doing mostly surgeries these days. They like hired him to be a surgery guy. If you work in a hospital, you do some inpatient stuff, like a lot of fluoro, some outpatient fluoro, whoever walks into the ER, and then like surgery stuff. You're typically doing, and you're trained to do any of those four. And then if you're working in an outpatient kind of area, it's typically fluoro and outpatients. If you're working in like a clinic, it'll be like by appointment plus some walk-ins, and there'll be like more elaborate x-rays on typically people who are healthier. If someone comes into the ER, like probably 90% of the time you're giving them a chest x-ray, or maybe like a trauma like wrist or a trauma ankle or something like that, trauma elbow, if it's like an injury. And then when you're working outpatient, you're doing much more, you're doing more like kind of like chronic pain kind of x-rays. You'll be doing like weight-bearing feet, weight-bearing ankles, like complete spines, stuff like that. The kinds of x-rays you do in outpatient versus inpatient are very different versus ER. Trauma elbow is actually a huge pain in the ass. It's one of the more annoying x-rays to do. You have to play it by ear. When people fuck up their elbow, the mobility they have it varies quite a lot. And it's very difficult to x-ray an elbow that the patient cannot move away from their body without extreme pain. The worst X-ray, toe is a very bad one. Almost everyone I know hates toe. If it's the big toe, it's not so bad. But any of the other toes are a huge pain in the ass. The thing about the AP toe and oblique toe are fine, but to do a lateral toe X-ray, you have to separate the toe from all the other toes, and that is, even on a completely healthy patient, that's annoying. But on a patient who has a significant toe injury, it's really fucking annoying. It's like the patient's having extreme pain if their toe is moved in any way, and you've got to put their foot on its side and get the other 4 toes out of the way without moving the injured toe at all. And the thing is, the toes all move as a set, damn it. It's really hard to separate one without moving it a little bit, trying to move the others. The human foot was not designed to be X-rayed. Oftentimes, if people have toe injuries, they're just ordered as feet, though. And feet is much easier. Feet's one of the easiest X-rays. Nice. The EXDP, that's rare that you see that. The damage differential of light DP versus light DP EXDP is actually really fucking low. You only barely do more damage with the EX. What are some other horrible X-rays? People almost always hate ribs. Ribs are a giant pain in the ass. Most people who need the rib X-rays are in a lot of pain, so even getting them onto the table can be a nightmare. And then depending on your rib routine, if you're hospital, ribs can be really annoying to do. The thing is, the rib cage only barely fits into most plates, or it doesn't fit at all. And so you've got to be really exact to get it to fit, or you've got to do two X-rays, like a high and a low. Some places want you to always do 2 X-rays. My place does that. They're like, yeah, even if you get it all in the high, we want a low X-ray too, for charging purposes, and also because you get better penetration on the low ribs with a separate X-ray with higher penetration. You get better visualization of the low ribs on a separate X-ray with higher penetration. Basically, the top ribs are overlapping the lungs and need very little penetration to see them, and then the bottom ribs are not overlapping the lungs, so need a lot of penetration to see them. And you can't just have like high penetration on the top and, high penetration on the bottom and low penetration on the top. You've only got a single strength for your X-ray. And then oblique ribs are often a pain in the ass. First of all, the patient might not be able to roll very well. They might not even be able to lie flat on their back or stand up straight. And you need them to do one or the other in order to do rib X-rays. And when they oblique, my hospital doesn't do the far oblique. We do the oblique towards the affected side, but not the other one. But when you do the oblique away from the affected side, it's more magnified, which makes it even harder to fit. Yes. It's the strength of the X-rays, more typically than the amount of them. I shoot higher energy X-rays. You get to choose as an X-ray tech. That's something you have to be able to do. You can shoot higher energy X-rays. You can shoot more total X-rays. You can shoot the same X-ray like speed for longer. And you can balance those out. Shooting a greater quantity of X-rays or shooting a lower quantity for a longer duration ends up giving the same amount. Yeah. If you shoot a very weak beam, for example, even if you shoot the X-rays for quite a while, they're failing to penetrate at all. But it'll affect the color gradient. It'll affect the contrast a lot. High KVs, low mass versus low KVs, high mass. That's the main thing, is you can shoot it so that... That was a dead OS. You can shoot it so there's high contrast or low contrast. But there'll be like a significant color differential between the thick and thin body parts and elsewise. And you have to be able to make that call too on how much penetrating power you need based on what you're X-raying. Give me a body part and I'll give you an example. I got a lot of them memorized. But you have to play it by ear with every patient too, because people are different sizes. And also, like, you have to adjust for how far away the X-ray tube is because of the what do they call that? Square cube law? Is that it? I don't know. No, the distance square law. Legs. Which leg? What part of the leg? The femur? Tib fib? Tib fib is typically like 65 at like 1 point something. Maybe 65 at 2. If they're like big. From 40 inches. We do it based on part thickness. Most people's legs are similar densities. Maybe if they're super muscular, it'll be a bit different. They'll have very dense legs. Humans in general have pretty strong legs, though. Even people who are not fit typically have strong legs. In fact, fat people typically have very strong legs because they have to walk. The weakest legs I see, the skinniest, are probably old people who are very skinny. People who are very light, but just, you know, infirm and not walking much. Have like bone density loss and all that. But just an example, 60 or 65 kV would be typical for a tib fib. And then somewhere between 1 and 2 mass. Mass being milliampere seconds. kV being kilovolts. I can do that for pretty much every X-ray. I can give you an approximate range. There are some that are really tricky because the variance is insane. Like an abdomen can be, you might not need that much at all, or you might need an ass ton. Like I do abdomen X-rays on infants, like literally like premature babies, and when you're doing an abdomen X-ray on them, it only needs like 60 at 1 or something like that. It's like almost nothing. It's like the X-ray. It's like the strength you'd use for like a finger on an adult. But then if a morbidly obese person is getting a fucking abdomen X-ray, it's insane. You can break your machine trying to X-ray them. Like you'll need more kVs than a portable machine can even give. Infant X-rays are a little scary. That was something that intimidated me a lot when I was brand new. Now I've done them quite a lot. When I'm working the night shifts, I also do the morning portables for the ICU and the NICU. And so, like every other shift, maybe I go up to the NICU and do an X-ray there. NICU being neonate ICU or something like that. It's not the ICU at my place, it's the CCU. It's critical care. Instead of intensive care. It's the same thing. Anyway, it's very... you really don't want to have a repeat and give extra radiation to like a baby. And you also really want to collimate very carefully. And what makes it even worse is that babies are wigglers. We use like shadow shields on babies, typically. And then frequently the nurses will like put on the lead aprons and hold the baby's limbs in place. That's true, babies are stupid and they don't know anything. It's funny when I have an X-ray on a baby, and I'm looking at the requisition form, the order, and it'll list the patient's age, and it'll be like less than 1 day. I'll be shooting an X-ray on a baby that was born like 2 hours prior. Nice dash through. Super punishes, I think. When age is still frame data. We're like, welcome to the world, baby. Here's your pick line. Because that's what I'm X-raying. It depends. There's a lot of reasons you could order an X-ray on a baby. Jump jab. He got like the god jump in. And then landed jump jab. I hate when it's like a pick line that they're doing through the, like an umbilical line. And then like I get there to do the X-ray and the entire baby is covered in sterile towels. And I can't even fucking see him. It's like, what am I supposed to X-ray here? Which part's the chin? Which part's the fucking legs? Can't fucking see anything. And they want like a chabdomen, we call it. Chest plus abdomen. Everything from the apex of the lungs to the pubic symphysis, basically. Nice. Good yang round. The longest X-rays I shoot are 120 frames, you might say. They're 2 seconds. We use X-rays that are that long for breathing technique. Many times when you get an X-ray, it'll be like so-and-so milliseconds. It'll be very short. And that's to minimize motion. But you can also shoot a very, very weak X-ray continuously for several seconds. And there's various reasons that you would do that. I'm doing my best. Cross table lateral for a transthoracic lateral shoulder or transthoracic lateral humerus, for example, typically uses a breathing technique. And that's because you're looking at the humerus through the person's entire body, because they can't pull it away from their body because they're injured. So you actually want the motion in your X-ray, because the arm won't be moving, but everything else will be moving. And the moving stuff all gets blurred. So the arm will be like well outlined, but then the ribs and the heart and the lungs will be blurry. And because of that, you get a better look at the arm. That's why you use stuff like breathing techniques. That's why you use 2-second X-rays. No, you've just invalidated my previous compliment. I don't know what the frame data is on Necro's low medium kick, but I can't imagine it's very good. We just saw a point blank one get blocked there, but Yang didn't have a punish. EX Rekka might have punished it, I don't know. Yang's not really good at that kind of thing. He doesn't have a super that's like super quick startup for punishing. EX Rekka is probably his best option. Or like a light normal EX Rekka. Cursed up by a patient in a funny way. Here and there. That doesn't happen very often. Most people are grateful to see me. I asked the patient if they want the X-ray before. Patients swear at the situation a lot. That's very common. I often X-ray people who are in a lot of pain. And we'll like move them just a little bit and they'll be like, oh fuck, you know, something like that. And then they'll apologize. They'll be like, sorry. I encourage patients to yell swear words during X-rays. I think it's fun. I'm like, actually, yeah, go for it. Supposedly, yelling swear words helps with pain management, so, you know, it's better for them, and I don't mind it. I've heard everything at this point. Did it work? Is it real? It feels like it works. Oh, that was a super confirm. He actually could have fully blocked it. He went for the red parry. He didn't need the red parry for the killing punish. I think he could have just blocked the whole thing and supered. That's, yeah, it's not a super great test. I think the act of yelling is more important than the swear word. I mean, all words are meaningless. Nice. More accurately, all words have only the meaning that we assign to them. Except onomatopoeia, I guess. Those ones have more objective meaning. Standing hit. Oh no. Don't let this turn around. Oh no, he's dead. Oh, Dudley. What a comeback. He almost got stunned, Dudley, and then he managed to completely turn it around just by being right on meaty repeatedly. That really is the Dudley classic. Dudley's been getting disrespected recently. It feels like every fucking person comes into this game and it's like, hey, I actually think so-and-so character is top 5. And every time you put someone at the top 5, you're pushing Dudley a little bit further down. Most people agree Dudley is number 5 in the game. And when I say most people agree, I actually mean it's one of the most controversial places these days. Because there's all these people coming out of the woodwork to be like, actually, Akuma's top 5. Actually, Urian's top 5. Actually, Ryu's top 5. Actually, Aura's top 5. Probably another one I'm forgetting. But I do occasionally hear those ones. Ooh, Jump Fierce just whiffed. Too close, maybe. Oh, that was none of that comboed. Oh, some of it comboed. Top 4 is Chun-Li, Yun, Ken, and Makoto. That one's pretty safe. People rarely dispute those. Sometimes people put Makoto a little lower. Makoto's tournament success is very similar to Ken's. It's a bit worse, but it's not a lot worse. Drill looks so funny when it's parried. It does wild things to Necro's momentum. Alright, still very losable for the Yang. Oh, it was the light spin hook. Why was it the light spin hook? It could have been the medium one, he would have won. Saving the super is so greedy. It's Yang, you can get away with it. Jump short twice. Oh, good shit. Parry is definitely good for Makoto and bad for the opponent. Parrying Makoto is one of the scariest things you can do in this game. He's just very likely to kill you. All the top tiers share that, though. Parry versus Yun is also very scary. Parry versus Chun-Li is very scary. Parry versus Ken is very scary. The top characters in this game are fairly good at blowing up parry. Either by having a really good mix-up or having the ability to power through your parry with just like raw cancels. Hugo's a bottom tier and he's quite scary to parry. It depends on where you are in relation to him. Some things he does are very easy to parry and other things are very scary. Hugo's status as a bottom tier is also one of the most disputed things about this game. Realistically, he's not. There's like an obvious quality difference between him and characters like 12 or Sean. Back in the day, he was usually considered to be the worst character in the game after them. But nowadays, people usually consider him about like mid-tier. He's just kind of, he loses to a lot of the top characters. But he's one of those characters who benefits a lot from landing parries, so if you're a skilled player, you can make him work. I think a modern tier list would probably have Hugo around the middle. I don't remember where I put him in my tier list. I think I put him in like around mid-tier. He's okay. I've certainly gotten owned by good Hugo players many times over the years. Probably gonna work. Ugh, it didn't. That would have killed if it hit. Back jab anti-air, seemed to be. Brave. He punished. He probably could have eaten the super based on his punish timing, but Hugo held it for the whole thing. There's a guaranteed punish when Hugo does super. There's no actual risk there. He has recovery at the end of his run. He can't block during it, and he can't do the super during it. Nice. Dead OS with close fierce. Necro is another character of dubious tier placement. He's one of the hardest characters in this game to tier. He's had quite good tournament success over the years, despite not having any of the qualities that typically make a character good. Stuff like range is just really hard to quantify. His damage output is quite nice. His momentum is really good too. Not only do you have the high dizzy output, but you also have a fairly decent mix-up, especially in the corner where you've got throw combos, which are quite damaging. Necro is also probably mid. Probably higher than Hugo, really. Yeah, juggle here. Yum. He dropped it. That would have worked at that height. He just fucked it up. It's not free. It's pretty tight. You've got to get a good enough medium roll in order for the super juggle to be possible, and he did get a good enough medium roll, but he dropped the super. The angle looked a little strange. It might have been impossible because of the angle. Ken was not as close as he typically is, I think. Oh, that must have been unsafe. He did a raw half circle forward kick to punish it and failed. That might work if you do it faster. I think he probably wanted button into the half circle forward kick because that combos on crouching opponents and can in the recovery with sweep is crouching. I'm just guessing though, because I don't know if he had a normal that would have gone far enough fast enough. I don't know if back strong or back forward would have hit at that speed. I don't even know if back forward into half circle forward kick works. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it. I think I have. People usually use back strong in that context. That's back strong, by the way. God, Necro's animations are so good. Necro doesn't have an animation in the game where he stands up straight, I don't think. It's funny because he'd actually be quite tall if he stood up straight. You can just tell looking at him, but he's like super hunchbacked in his idle. His knees are really bent too. It feels like he would tower over Ken if he just stood up a little taller. That's straighter. That's kind of straight. Look at that. We can look at it. Yeah, that's about how tall he is. How much shorter does he get? Yeah, look at that. Lost a lot of height. Going from that back turn. He's like almost 1.5 times as tall in actuality as his idle animation. These colors are pretty similar. I like the teal one. Turquoise. Whenever I see someone who's like a pro with colors, you know the ones. They're like, oh, that's not eggshell, that's ash. That's not fuchsia, that's smoky, I don't know. The people who just know, like, you know, 300 colors. I love the Twitter shitpost that's just like two very nearly identical like shades of nail polish or something like that. And it'll be like men will really look at you and say this is the same color. Nice. Love that juggle. This is so cool looking. Oh, the corner control is very nice. Necro's ability to press you in the corner is extremely good. Better than you would think. So you fight a good one. I play the character who least cares of any character in the game about being cornered. So it's never been effective for me. Oro doesn't want to be cornered, he just gets out of the corner. He's just like, bye. I've got like 5 great ways of getting out of the corner. Punish? I think so. He probably could have won without that. He's playing it safe. Electricity got hit in startup. He low parried back fierce. He landed and low parried. That's how late the back fierce was. Wow. Parried the second low jab. It's a weird time to pull out a parry. It might have been a red parry. That was a great anti-air. Oh, that was such a whack jump. It really worked too. Dizzy on the horizon. There it is. Necro stole it back. Necro's a really fun character to watch. Dudley is too. Very explosive is Dudley. Freeform too. A lot of different ways to play him. Scary. Ooh, that's a super confirm. He didn't see it. Electricity can be single hit confirmed into super. You got enough time? Nice. Nice punish. The Lemon House, a lot of people do not block well, Michael. Oh no. He got the punish too. You can react. Ah, he pressed. Holy shit. See how Necro did the light spin hook there and just mashed parry? And Dudley's not biting. Yeah. That was parryable. It was not even that hard. Necro did not parry it. It was the light super. He should have done the heavy one, I think. Parrying that super post-freeze is a 1 frame window, I'm pretty sure. If it hits on its first frame, which in that instance it did not. So that one was probably like a 4 or 5 frame window. Because he didn't even get the first hit at all. The combo from the trade. It's pretty funny. He could have cancelled it. Would have been pretty sick. He was probably surprised that it worked. Nice. Oh, that was his frame 1 airborne attack. Flying Viper or whatever it's called. That's very useful versus Dudley, honestly. Good versus Dudley, good versus unblockables. Ooh, very nice. You can't just parry forever when you're airborne. You gotta pick a moment. Air parries only last for 4 frames. And there's a lot of different windows that Necro can back fierce you if you neutral jump next to him. So winnable for Dudley. Necro played it really safe. That was nice. That's a huge skill in this game, is being able to force it so you're only in scenarios where, even if the opponent's right, they don't get that much. Surprised that wasn't a punish. He probably had back medium kick there. Very least back strong. But it wasn't point blank, so good odds if he did like back medium kick into light spin hook, it would have whiffed the first hit. Nice. That's one of my favorite combos in the game. Just, I don't know, something about it is just so cool. Oh, punish was shitty. The back medium kick, like medium spinning hook, super, just looks really neat. A very satisfying combo for reasons I can't explain. That was a punish. Really fucking good recognition of the scenario. He saw the neutral jump, anticipated it was going to be a neutral jump button to prevent a jump in, and punished the landing recovery with super. Very enlightened decision making. It was relatively low risk even if it didn't work. Like even if Yang anti-jumped and blocked it, he couldn't punish it. Car throw off with Staminos. I saw that. Micro walking into far fierce. He probably wanted close fierce, but it didn't matter. Nice. One back short and then fishing for parry from counter pokes. Oh, that was nice. And what a punish. This dizzies, I think, with the follow-up. Yep. And this should kill pretty easily. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful sequence. 12s. Probably my single favorite special intro. Let me think about that. What are the really good ones? Ryu and Ken fist bumping is superb. Makoto and Ibuki clashing their jump medium kicks is pretty cool. Elena doing that freaky mirror thing with herself. Hugo Alex. Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that one immediately. The WrestleMania 3. That one's quite great. That's definitely up there. The two Dudleys having two different cars is pretty funny. Fun fact about this matchup, 12 does not have bones. When he's being electrocuted, you cannot see a skeleton. There's a few skeleton gags in this game, not to the degree of like Darkstalkers or BlazBlue. Q's electrocution animation seems to suggest his entire body is robotic and not just his face.
You win. Now. Fighters ready. Engage.
I remember Online Edition had little missions you could do during ranked matches. And one of them was like electrocute the opponent, another one was like burn the opponent. I'm just sitting here with Aura like, damn, I can't do either of these. Only a few characters could do each one. Urian can electrocute you. Necro can. Denshin Ryu. That might be it.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Nice. Ugh. That's a really bad drop when you get it. Oh, that was a sick fucking hit. Oh, he went for the red. 12 like needs a red to even get a decent punish, and you know this is a 12 decent punish, so it's like heavy spin hook, not spin hook. What do you call that thing? AXE. ATR low short. Intriguing. The neutral throw. Rarely do you see that one. Dudley didn't even match it. That should be a punish. Still winnable. Ah.
Now.
Let's fight like gentlemen.
Are you ready? Go.
Nope. Oh, you hate to see it. Dudley's staring around house. Ooh, oh. Dudley's staring around house into EX machine gun blood must be very satisfying. It looks satisfying. When I like play him in training mode and stuff, it's quite fun to hit. That whole sequence feels so good. Certain crouching characters can fall out of it, and it's, you know, pretty funny for the non-Dudley. For the Dudley, it's probably, you know, pretty horrible. I love using Kara Universal Overhead and Neutral in this matchup. And by this matchup, I mean my matchup versus Dudley, or Dudley. Because oftentimes the Dudley players will be doing Stairman House Buffered EX Machine Gun Blow, because it's good versus Aura's pokes. But if it hits Universal Overhead, I get a reset. And then the EX Machine Gun Blow just whiffs, and I land into it parrying. And then I get a full combo on him. As pokes go, it's not like Universal Overhead's horrible either. It is very unrewarding though. Maybe he does Stairman House and beats it and doesn't cancel. I don't feel great. Brutal. The same jab. A bunch of them. There was some personality in that moment. We got a little glance into the soul of that Dudley player. The Link. 3? Oh, missed the confirm. The red! It's not a crazy hard red to hit. It's one of the easiest reds in the game, actually. It's very scary, though. The hits are so quick that it's almost like you have to get it. It's hard to explain. The hits are so close together on Dudley Super 3 that like whenever you make that cross from blocking to parry, it's going to be within 2 frames of a hit. Nice. And you should jump heavy kick. This Dudley is extremely strong. He had a big old win streak earlier. And also every other time we've seen him. I love the light Tatsu, heavy Tatsu. It's a very fun little sequence. One of my favorite Akuma combos. Oof, look at all that HP he just lost. Dudley didn't want to commit in case it was going to be cancelled. Oh, there we go. There's the commit. Very optimized punish, actually. Sermonos won't always hit from max range, shadow left forward. But ducking super always will. Anti-air far fierce. Cool. Palm. Yo, this Dizzy. Uh-oh. There it is. Didn't matter. That hit the limb. Dive kick hit the limb. That's funny. Okay. Sometimes Dudley's EXDP. Ironically, Dudley being such a I kind of a lot of people play Dudley like really crazy, but in my experience, Dudley players are actually very timid about using EX Uppercut. It seems to be a workable reversal as they go. There are definitely worse reversals that people still use in this game. Ooh, don't think he wanted that. Uppercut got grabbed. Nice punish. Nice parry. That looked like a short swing blow he got hit out of. Dudley players really out here mashing short swing blows in mid combo. Bad confirm. Dudley's punish wasn't there, but he still got something. Oof. Corkscrew blows animation is so simple, and yet it's quite great. There's another super in what's that game? Yetagaras that was very similar. That I liked quite a lot. A couple of them actually. There's one on Jet is the one I'm thinking of. What's that his name? That game got put on like Nessica or whatever they call it, and there was discussion that there was gonna be a lot of new footage of Japanese people playing Yetagaras, and I think that footage exists, but I don't know how to look for it because they don't tag it as Yetagaras. They might use its Japanese name. It's funny to say that because Yetagaras is a Japanese word, but they might use like the katakana spelling or whatever, and not the English one. Or maybe even the kanji, I don't know. Oof. Oh, that's an annoying punish to have to do. There's certain attacks in this game where your character just has to do a weird punish. Back strong really whiffed through Dudley's hurtbox. Ducking is insane. They really went too hard with ducking in this game. Nice, that was beautiful. The number of attacks that ducking doesn't get hit by is just absurd. It fully dodges Oro's close strong, which I find very annoying. Close forward works against ducking though. Oh, look at that punish. That's so awkward. He's gotten it every time though. You can't heavy spin hook that. Oh, nice.
You win. Now. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I'm probably going to leave after this video. I want to play some Oblivion. Maybe in a Discord call. Still another 16 minutes. I also want to nap before work, but I don't know when I'm going to do that. Oh, it hit. Quite beefy damage on that overhead, really. Wonder if he had jab there. Oof. Did look like he committed to something. Nice catch. Ying might have been parrying. That move, half circle forward kick, is very good if the opponent's parrying. It's very similar in that way to Aura's Hit Grab, where not only is it a punish on high and low parry, but also it is unsafe and even further incentivizes people not to parry because they get hungry for the punish. Nice. Dizzy? Not quite. Still got it though. It's kind of funny, the game locks you out of post KO, it locks you out of doing special moves, but Yang can still do his second and third Rekka. So Yambu, very common versus Hugo. Raiders in mid-neutral. You get cross-up unblockables too. Lovely. It's over. He didn't even go for any cross-up unblockables, he went for a regular old overhead. The thing about overhead in Sayambu is that universal overhead is quite hard to react to, and you don't need a deep connect to combat a bit. Wow, Crouch Face hit. Crouch Face in this matchup is such a whack thing to go for. That's hard to pick up. There's like nothing Yang does that I would think you would want to Crouch Fierce. These are cross-up unblockables. Oh, he dropped the combo though. Alright, anyone's game still? That's probably a punish. Pretty dire. Oh, he's dead. Yeah. Yang can keep it going. It's not very strong, but Yang can keep it going for the entire Sayambu timer if he wants. Sayambu is another one of my favorite supers in the game. It's very cool. I typically like supers that allow for a lot of creativity. Such as every Aura super. Yeah. When you're dead to even a throw, it's just a nightmare. He could have done a normal throw and Necro still would have got stunned. That would have been less risky. Lower success rate though. See how, like, Yang reacted fairly quickly to the electricity and tried to low forward and still didn't get a punish on it. Electricity can be really hard to whiff punish if your character doesn't have a good low forward. It's not like Yang's is bad. It's very, very good, but it's not good at that. Well, it can be. It just depends on range and time. He was already whiffing a low forward when Necro did electricity, so he couldn't do a new low forward right away. But he did it about as soon as he could have reacted anyway, so I don't think that was the factor. Dive kick looking kind of good. It's funny the dive kick is as good as it is in a game with parry. Hell yeah, Necro. That's free. Roundhouse. What a fun normal. That's more typically what happens when you hit roundhouse. You just get owned. It's very slow. Universal overhead. That dodges Yang's reversals while also being, you know, a decent media stego. However, it didn't work there. Ibuki. Ugh. Not a good kunai. Jump medium kick probably would have been fine. Air throw. EX Rekka. They're having trouble touching each other. Retta whiff punished. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Fire Fierce as a poke is pretty funny. You don't see that too often. Oh, what kind of punish is this? He did the whole Rekka series, and then you just super jump as your punish? Come on. Very suspect play by the Ibuki that round.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
The air TC, but the momentum moved him out of the way. No finish on Farfierce. Farfierce was a whack thing to do. Dizzy, huge factor now. That was a nice slide. Maybe pretty risky, but it worked. That was beautiful. The light one didn't mash it. This is still winnable, but it's a nightmare. Buki's burst damage is not that good. She doesn't even have like a big super to land. Cat.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Beautiful. That sucked. Nice. Whiff punish the jump over. Look at the cat emoji. Isn't it funny how male pregnancy has an emoji? I was thinking about that recently. I was thinking about emojis. Nice. True, seahorses can have male pregnancy. They even go into labor. Seahorses are weird on like 20 other metrics too. I was thinking about seahorses recently as well. I was like, how is this a real fish? Doesn't even look like a fish. Fish come in a lot of different shapes. Seahorses are probably the single coolest one. Maybe a weedy sea dragon. Those guys are kind of cool.
You win. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I think eels are pretty funny. There's a video that surfaced recently of a diver petting a moray eel. I don't know why he was doing it, but the eel seemed to be liking it. I saw a post recently. I forget what the answer was because I didn't actually open it. But it was like, what did we call electric eels before the discovery of electricity? I think I did read it. It was like numbing eel or something like that. Kind of a funny question though. Elena trailer looks pretty cool. Can't wait to play her. I will main her. It's still winnable. Down back fierce, huge sweat. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. I can't believe he went for a fourth one. I would have jabbed. He got the fifth as well. I spoke that shit to life. I was like, down back fierce, huge sweat, and then he pulled it off. That shit's difficult. Super? It worked. Oh, of course. Ooh, nice hits. If I'm being 100% honest, Elena's announcement kind of killed my interest in 6. But, like, probably for other reasons than most people. I was like, I don't want to play the game until Elena's in it. It made me feel like I didn't want to invest time in other characters. Nice.
You win.
I just want to play Elena.
Now.
I was like that with some other character as well in SF3. I forget who. I don't think it was Sakura. I didn't plan to be a Sakura main. It was Oro. When Oro was announced in SF3, I stopped playing the game for like half a year, waiting for Oro to come out. Terry is actually one of the coolest characters in the current pass. I don't like Mai though. I want Makoto to come back. Capcom's listening. But I find it really funny that a lot of people are coming out to say Viper, because she was like one of the least played characters in 4, which is the only game she's been in besides, I guess, MVC3. That's likely, statistically. I think in a game with input leniency, Viper will be easier, but not way easier. Most of Viper's difficulty didn't come from inputs, or from links. It came from her faint stuff.
Now. Are you ready? Go.
Yes, she's usually regarded as one of the hardest characters. It depends on what you're trying to do. But she had a lot of like just basic cores of her gameplay that were quite difficult, such as the free FADC from Seismo. If you did Seismo, it super cancelled, which meant that you could FADC it. So you could do Seismo and then hold both mediums and get a focus cancel for 2 bars. But you could also jump cancel the Seismo, and if you jump cancel and then go into focus attack, that's free. That doesn't cost meter. So because of that, you could do a Seismo into a free FADC for Viper. There's stuff like that. She had a lot of stuff like that. She also had Seismo jump cancel Seismos, for example. She could do Seismo and then jump cancel and then cancel the pre-jump frames into another Seismo. And it was actually a 2-block string. Or it was a 2-block string if you went to EX, I think. So you could use that to chip people out.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Viper had a lot of cool tech like that. The Fierce Faint Fierce is one of the most famous ones. You cancel Heavy Punch or Crutch Heavy Punch into Heavy Thunder Knuckle, and then you cancel the Heavy Thunder Knuckle. And the Heavy Thunder Knuckle had a much faster cancel than Medium Thunder Knuckle or Seismo or anything like that. And it recovered so fast you could do another, you could link. I could see her still having that stuff, honestly. I think she'll definitely still have the super jump, and I think it's likely that she'll still have feints. I don't know how, the feints are probably going to be different to some degree, but I think they'll still be there. I think they'll probably preserve, I think she'll be easier, but I think they'll still feel unashamed to make her one of the hardest characters in the game. Nice. Ricky's forward dash is kind of committal. Surprised he got it off like that. Is this the last match? I feel like it is. Yeah, I'm about to leave. Everyone come in as I'm about to step out. That's how it always goes. Empty dive kick low short. Delete Ying. I think she'll probably, I think they'll do that. I think they'll probably rework her, but I doubt they'll make her that much easier. I think she will be easier, but not way easier. They might give her like new special moves. I think that's likely. Like Omega. Omega gave her a couple special moves that are executionally less demanding than her other stuff, but still in line with her other stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. It's been fun, fellas.